Hello, friends. Do you like TVTs with insanity, mischief, mayhem, madness, long games, short games, everything between? Yeah, I do too. That's why this is getting uploaded. It's Gumiho Cure, EPT Korea 115, the round of 8. Games are pretty fantastic. But before we get into it, I'd like to remind you to like, comment, subscribe to this channel. It really does help me out. I'm uploading at least 6 casts a week, once a day, maybe not on Sundays, but at least 6 casts a week. And also I stream on Twitch. Every Monday, EPT&A, 7 p.m. Eastern. Every Saturday, 3 p.m. for Apprentice Cup, 11 p.m. now because daylight savings time for EPT Korea, and because NA Apprentice is happening every Tuesday, Thursday evening, 7 p.m. Eastern. But for now, let's get into Cure versus Gumiho. Spawning into the upper right in the blue, he is for Dragon Phoenix Gaming, the GSL Season 1 champion, Cure. His opponent in the bottom left in the red, the Terran for PSISTORM, Gumiho. All right, game number 1 of this TVT. We've only cast one TVT today. It was Dream versus a Masters player. Dream went for proxy 2 Rax Reaper 2 games in a row and killed his opponent 2 games in a row. We're not going to see that in this game. We're going to see something that is broad, reaching, expansive, taking every base on the map, each map going to 45 minutes of epic slug-duggery. These slug-duggery, folks, it's actually a word, I promise you. I did not make it up right now. It means something. It's a mix between a slugfest and skullduggery. Very clearly indeed. So now Gumiho, he was looking to make sure that there's not some kind of hidden proxy rack scenario, and that's not going to happen. He's going to get his command center down, but SCV choosing to be rather annoying. Uncle Slim, I'm glad you're eating an egg. I'm not eating an egg. There are 2 eggs on the screen, though. Kira's got one. Gumiho's got one. We're going to have to see who clears the egg away first. Because, of course, we all know eggs are the glue that keeps scores together. Muchacho, do I think this is aggro TVT or late game TVT? I don't know a lot about how Cure is playing TVT right now. All right, that's the big deal. I know Gumiho, he has aggressive options. We have seen those in the past. But as to how this game goes, it's always very hard to break your opponent. Even aggressive TVT is this interesting scenario where you'll see a base get sieged up, and then more likely than not, the game kind of goes late anyways. Maybe a player finds a bit of an advantage. We don't see a lot of these big game-ending moves in the matchup at the moment, in part because of how the builds have lined up. We have these barracks, double gas factory command center setups. But oh, nice little pick up there. 1 Reaper will go down, and that just removes, well, most of the map presence that Cure does have, but he's going to... There we go. We'll not lose that Reaper. Well, there's Shu Yu, 2 cups of syrup, Uncle Slim, 1435 forever, and StrifeX. Thanks so much for the follows. Glad you're all here today, folks. As it looks like, what do we have? Lots of people believe in Cure, less people believe in Gumiho. I think that is just about fair. Cure is expected to be a little bit better. That being said, whenever he runs into Maru, he kind of loses 4-0. So I don't know how much of that is wow, Cure's TVT is maybe not his best, and how much of that is, well, it's Maru. And Maru just has insane TVT. But for now, builds very mirrored. Cure finding himself a bit of a army supply lead right now, a little bit of a worker deficit, but not too much, not too big of a deal. And this is why, by the way, we have a 3rd base on the way for Gumiho. So this is, it appears this is where we're going to start to see things separate out just a little bit. Cure takes that delayed 3rd command center in favor of getting more stuff out on the map. And Gumiho, he says, okay, I want to get until at least 3 bases. I want to make sure something like that happens. So drop here, though, and I actually really like the positioning from Gumiho. He's not really going to be victim to the tank sieging up a tech lab or something, as that tank is going to get the last shot off, though. Great micro here from Gumiho, keeping things alive. And these 4 Marines, they're annoying. They will be able to delay the current 3rd command center for just a little bit. The lock on the medevac, force that to stay on back. defender's advantage is always going to be a thing, so more and more Marines will pop out. Cyclones arriving, but most of the Marines on the high ground, they're dead. And only 4 SCVs go down. 5 in total have died, but I believe one of those was scouting. So for now, Gumiho does a great job of rebuffing the attack from Cure. And behind this, of course, his third command center, it's done. He is developing his tech. He's putting himself into the mid game in a way that he may or may not wish to go for. Well, I should say he does wish to go for. We're going to eventually see Stim go down, eventually combat shields, but in this 1-1-1 into a third base setup, you delay all of that. It's just all about getting your tanks out early to defend and, again, developing that economy. So you're saying, okay, my third base is late. It's not as fast as yours, Gumiho, but I do have map control. I make it really hard for you to do anything on the map, and I also saw you didn't have a tech lab on that barracks, so I can absolutely... I'm just going to take this on location. That should mitigate some of the issues. It does not mitigate 3 SCVs at a time, but it does, at the very least, keep things alive, and there we go. Double eBay on the way, second and third barracks. We will now start to see Stim get taken, combat shields, all of these good things. All of these noble pursuits that are necessary to sustain life. And we got to pause. Okay. We got to pause in game 1. Where are we right now? Gumiho, he's got a minor lead. He did not take too much damage from what Cure did. He's sitting himself up 6 odd workers. Second and third barracks a little bit faster. Stim faster. He's sitting on 2 Ravens to 1, but it doesn't look like he's going to go for another one. So it looks like we'll eventually be 2 Ravens to 2, and we're back in game. Okay, so now third base is going to get taken. 2 Cyclones, honestly, not the scariest thing for Gumiho anymore. He's just going to siege up his tanks, put them in range. Marine's going to run forward, trying to find something, but Kira's paying attention to things. It's just going to be a dead Marine or 2. And the Ravens, they're not going to be a defensive tool anymore. Yeah, Shu Yu. That tank snipe was beautiful. I believe the Cyclone was on 5 HP. As it happens, now the Ravens looking to move on in. Preemptive scan saying, oh, hey, there's nothing here. The army is in the natural maybe. It's maybe in the third, but it's certainly not in the main. And look at this. Auto turrets on both sides of the mineral line. There's no real way for Cure to run, so he will just lose oodles and oodles of SCVs. Maybe a tank as well. No, the auto turret is a little bit too few HP. But 13 SCVs go down in the blink of an eye as the auto turret, I believe. Yeah, still finding more. These Ravens. 8 kills on that one, 5 kills on that one, 13 total. Gumiho now, he is in a masterful position. Yeah, that was real petite. That was the marvel of this positioning. Normally we'll see stuff in a wall. Wait, why is, oh, Ravens, okay. Raven harassed as well, but the Vikings are going to show up, which means maybe we have 1 auto turret. Might knock down a Viking, but 2 Ravens for Viking. Yeah, you take that. We take those, in the words of Gemini, but now Cure looking to siege up on the third base. Someone asked me whether this was going to be aggressive or defensive, and it looks like it will be just about the same. Oh, that's a dead Raven. You do not want to do that, Gumiho, not when you're trying to defend your third. But one of the beautiful things about this base is you can just lift the command center up, move it over to the right side, and keep mining once again. I'm surprised we haven't seen Gumiho do that, actually, but it looks like he feels that he can make this happen here. And now Cure looking to go on in. Tanks are going to try to make this happen. SCV's getting pulled. I don't like this for Gumiho, but it looks like he will be able to survive anyways for now, but he gives up the air lead. And he still is forced to reposition his command center over to the other third base location. And it feels like this was maybe just a moment of overconfidence, but 1-1 is done now. This bio is going to be much bigger for Gumiho, much better for Gumiho than it is for Cure. Look at the Stim on in. There are 4 tanks here, Gumiho. Don't do it. Don't do it. The Marines had so much to live for, and they're now just going to go down. Gumiho, he's in a bit of a problem now. These 4 tanks. Well, 4 tanks, soon to be 3 tanks, soon to be 2 tanks. Actually, well, no, only... Okay, 2 tanks will go down. And as sloppy as that was, and that was tremendously sloppy, at least Gumiho has a shot now as he's running across the map with like a single tank and a medevac. Meanwhile, Cure, again, looking to take advantage of this really good position he has. He's going to find a chokehold, and he does find combat shields. Combat shield's a big deal. Again, though, this drop is going... Oh, tank in that one. 8 Marines in that one. It looks like Gumiho's going for a big surround from behind. SCV's repairing this for now. And we're going to see stuff on the high ground. Bio stimming in from every side. Gumiho saying, this is my break right here, right now. Tank siege up on the high ground as well. These 3 tanks of Cure are going to go down. Good splits here from Gumiho. Means he does not lose too much, but I believe he lost a couple tanks. Vikings are going to land, and that's, well, not going to assassinate the tank. So at the end of the day, I think we're about even. Resources lost within 200. Both players on 3 bases. The big deal is that Cure delayed the upgrade advantage. Gumiho was up 50% build time. He was at 50% build time. So, with all this aggression, Cure was able to distract. He delayed the armory. He delayed Gumiho spending money into things that were not just making sure he stayed alive. But now Gumiho, he does, yeah, he's equal on tanks, which is a big deal compared to how bad it was earlier. But the bio is splitting on up here. It's 1-1 versus 1-1, so not really going to find all that much. And with the Vikings on the high ground in the dead airspace, this push from Gumiho kind of doomed to failure. And again, I forget, someone asked me whether this game was going to go Mac or whether it was going to be aggressive. Again, the answer is both. There's now Cure seesawing this across the map. This game is going back and forth. But we got 5 Marines on a run by, and hey, he's going to be able to cancel the 4th bait. That's going to be very nice indeed. Gumiho looking to siege up his position. Bio stimming on forward. They say they can get on top of this tank before it sieges on up. One tank. Tank finally going down. Finally going down. The Bio's forced back here, and the 4th base will be delayed for a time. Should not be canceled. The rally cleans that up. Gumiho in the last minute or so taking a slight deficit in his resources lost. Just a little bit, but he's got his 4th base on location. He can start dropping the Mulehammer. He can stop mining from that, but the Zelnaga Tower, that's always a scary thing. The tank's going to get 1, 2, 3 shots off, but that should be it. No tanks. Okay, 1 tank will go down, but that is still fairly nice trade here for Gumiho. He's going to knock down a lot of the air fleet, a lot of the Vikings. They do die. All right, so this is, again, neither player knows how to sit back and just take a minute, breathe, expand your position, advance your tech, do what Maru or Young would do in this situation. They're just running. They're just like 2 bricks running headfirst into each other and just trying to see who cracks first. Who wins, an unstoppable force or an unstoppable force? I think the answer is the unstoppable force, but which one? That's what this game is turning into, and I am absolutely here for it. 2-2 done for Gumiho, so he does have a bit more of an upgrade lead than I thought he did. But Cure's tanks are going to be better for longer. This drop on the right side will get scattered on out here. The Marines are going to knock the supply depot down. And Cure, he's misread this. He thinks this is on the right side. Oh, actually, no, that's what it is. He thinks that, rightly so, that Gumiho is going to look to run away. So we will see Gumiho running away, but that is 24 Marines in medevacs. He has to give this position up now. Too much of his army is sitting in the air. Not much is going to happen. But run by on the left side is going to be dealt with. And here's the big deal. There are 4 tanks to 5, sure, but the army is not sieged on up here. Bio stims forward just a little bit. Upgrade disadvantage, though, it's equalized. So that is the thing. The Bio looking to stim on in here. They're going to tank some big tank shots here, but only 1 is sieged on up. And Gumiho, he's not going to move. Well, he's now going to move into tank range, but he was doing a good job of staying out of it. Just taking some nice trades for now. All right. But these tanks, they're not going to siege up in the best spot. So that's actually just going to be a dead tank. We're going to see Tech Lab going down here as well. So no more tank fire. And importantly, Cure, he's taking a upgrade lead in this game. He has better tanks right now, but Gumiho's going for a big surround. So he doesn't have not a surround, it's actually just a base trade. He's stimming into the 3rd base here. He says, oh, your tanks are there. You're kind of in a bad position. Oh, no, never mind. But he's going to stim on top of these Marines. That's a lot of dead Marines, but who's surrounding whom here? Gumiho was looking for the big brain play, the 300 IQ play, and it looks like it's actually kind of working out for him just a little bit. We're going to see Vikings go down as well. A lot of the supply of Cure does die. It's only tanks on the other side of the map now, and sure, a factory goes down. It is single factory to double factory, actually fairly impactful in this game. But Gumiho, he's got his base, the 5th base on the way on the bottom side. He killed a lot of Marines, and the moment he finds a way to shove away this tank positioning, he's going to be in a rather nice spot. As he just, sure, Cure owns this position, and 4 tanks are nothing to shake a stick at, but he makes it very hard now for Cure to reinforce. And siege on the high ground. Siege on the high ground. Gumiho does not want to take this fight, though. tanks are out of range. And again, the Viking lead for Kira is just making life complicated, making it hard for Gumiho. But we will see drops on top of the tanks. These tanks should go down. Nothing really defending the tanks on the 4 side, though. There we go. The tank lead of Gumiho will be mostly reset, or of Kira will be mostly reset. Again, 2 factory to 1. 2 factory to 1 is making the big deal here. That's kind of why we see things. But again, Gumiho, he still has an upgrade lead, or he still has a supply lead, excuse me, is maxed out for the first time. And with this base on the bottom side, he does have that macro lead. He's on 5 bases to 4. You're really showing no desire to take a 4th base right now. I don't know that he understands the state of this game. Technically, he's mining more, but not really, as Bio's going to stim in. This SCV is trying to reestablish that vision. It's not going to be able to do so. Push on the left side will be dealt with by Cure, but also now Gumiho knows where the push is, and this 5th attempted 6th base should be canceled. But I think Gumiho is going to be able to rotate over in time, actually. But what this push does, it has forced Gumiho back home. There's no sensor tower on this part of the map. Gumiho only has 1. It's a little bit harder for him to track things, but the random SCV on the north side means that Gumiho knows where stuff is. And he might be able to rotate Cure around the map here. He's been pushing really hard, or attempting to, onto the right side of things, but he's gonna, he's gonna be able to stim onto this 3rd, but he doesn't want to do it. He's a little bit reticent. Worried that Cure jumps on top of things, worried, well, actually, no, Cure has the upgrade, or Gumiho has the upgrade lead, but it's so hard to push into a Terran. It's so hard to push into a Terran when the tank count is what it is, 13 tanks to 9. I mean, how do you stim into this? There are 6 tanks here. They have +1, soon to have +2. So instead, Gumiho, he's advancing his next level of tech. Ravens are on the way. Corvid reactors a little bit slower. But as he is maxed out, he actually can't build much more as random missile turret. We've actually seen this come to great effect. I think it was Ryung versus Time, maybe, from Katowice. We saw random missile turrets around the map that did about 50% damage to a command center, started making it burn. It was pretty great. But anyways, we're gonna have to see what happens here as the clump of bio from Gumiho now, 1 tank is sieged up, and that is going to be enough to keep Gumiho back from doing anything right now. This base on location will be forced to be dislodged. That's a Doom drop finding its way on in. There are a bunch of Vikings here, but he's not going to get the full medevacs just yet. Carpet bombing everything, but now the medevacs are going down. 50 supply of Gumiho. It's going down to the blink of an eye. He's going to lose his, 6th base just now. His tanks are not sieged up where they need to be. Gumiho taking a massive mistake. You don't drop into Vikings. It's just not a thing. It doesn't work. And this has opened up the map so much for Cure now. So, Doom drop into the main base. There are no missile turrets here. We're going to see 3 tanks sieged up, a bunch of 3-3 bio. Cleans it all up. Cure in the blink of an eye. He takes game 1. In the bottom left here, in the blue, he's up 1-0 off an awesome late game TVT for Dragon Phoenix Gaming. Cure. His opponent in the upper right in the red. He was in a great spot, but now he's down a game, looking to tie it up for PSISTORM, the Town Terran, Gumiho. Oh man, chat's catching up to what happened in that game. Yep. That's fair. My eyes. That's fair. It's very fair indeed. But actually, it looks like we're gonna see. Oh no, it's just double gas expand. Never mind. Barracks double gas into factory. Same deal. And honestly, you give me another 20-minute game like that. Give me another 20 game like that, and I will absolutely take it. It will be my extreme pleasure and joy to watch another game like that, to get to cast another game like that. But for now, the builds, they are paired. Hardwire is the map. It's another map that is long. It's very choky. It's hard to go kill your opponent, although there's a little bit better of a sieged up position here. A little bit easier to get onto a tech lab or something. And of course, folks, to remind you as we get into game number 2, because game number 1 was long and people may be new, winner of this series faces the winner of Hero versus Haas in the semifinals on the bottom side of the map. I know Trigger is still alive. I know Solar is still alive. I don't know much more other than that. But again, winner of the series hopefully plays Hero, because Hero versus Cure, Gumiho versus or Hero versus Cure, Hero versus Gumiho both sound like awesome setups. And there we go. Cure doing the most important thing that could possibly be done in a game of StarCraft. He says, the bot is dead. Kill the bot. And that was obviously a massive oversight in the PTR and the balance patch. We did not see bots removed from maps. And honestly, the bots are fine. You can click on them. You can kill them off pretty quickly. But the doodads on Berlingrad that you have to just spam click like 20 times and hope you get it. Well, those can go live in a fire. Dying in a fire is too good for them, even if they are cute little doggos. But we do have Cure getting a little bit more aggressive in this game than the last, committing to 3 Reaper, 2 Hellion. Now, it's not going up to 3 or 4 Hellions, certainly, but for now, he does technically have an advantage. But with the Marines here, tank's about halfway out. Actually, the tank coming out here is a bit of a problem, so we're going to see the splits coming on out, but there are enough Marines that Cure feels, okay, I can't get much done here. Maybe he can blink into or he can leap into the main just a little bit. For now, he says, oh, maybe this is a better engagement here. The bio is going to be forced to move on backwards, but there is a tank. Tanks don't die to this. And Cure should be forced back now. Tank sieging on up. Yeah, there we go. And especially with this vision from the medevac, Cure is not going to be able to get too much done. I like actually the medevac moving out of the field. It maybe makes Cure think that this is a drop, but no. Well, actually, no, the medevac is still miming a drop, so that may make Cure a little bit scared. But again, it's not a drop. It's just scouting. It's just attacking Gumiho. Put it out on the map a little bit, running it back home, and hey, guess what? He's going to scout where the Reaper Hellion is, but also now Cure knows, no. It's fine. Instead, we got the push out on the map here. Cyclone is done. Tank as well. We're going to have to see how much damage Gumiho is able to get done. But hey, that's a dead Hellion. That's nice. Value already, but the Reapers on the right side, they're going to try to find their way into the main base. Of course, they two-shot SCVs, but of course the Reaper Hellion here, that should be, oh, they're going to line it up. There we go. Yeah, this is not going to get much damage. The Reaper's Hellion, they're just going to die. Reaper jumping down, though. That's a mistake, but the Reapers will be forced out for now. Gumiho kind of F2ing there for a moment, which is a bit annoying. Okay, the Reapers are still there. They will heal themselves up. And now with the Raven out, with the tank already sieged, I don't know that Gumiho is going to be able to get any sort of damage here. He may certainly try. Oh, he's landing his... Oh, wait a minute. Okay, so Cure moving out right now. That may be a problem, but at least he scouts things out. And the Vikings in the medevac, Vikings actually shred tanks. So we're going to see him do here. Gumiho is going to look to move on in and just drop the Vikings on top of the tanks. Kill them off. Too sweet. And there we go. Vikings getting dropped on the tanks here. Auto turrets, though, defensively as well. This is not working for Gumiho. It was a nice attempt, but that's it. GG. Game 1 epic. Game 2, well, it happened. But Cure moving on to date with either Hero or Haas.